I'd like to talk about two words that came out of two different mouths this past week in the sports world, two evil words spoken on live broadcast that left me speechless. Let's take Bob Huggins first. Huggy Bear, as he's affectionately called by the many who find his old school rough edges very lovable. I never did. I do think he's a very good basketball coach. I think he's a very good motivator of overachievers who play their tails off for him and play the right way. But the other day, Huggins was doing a radio interview by phone with a station back in Cincinnati where he coached University of Cincinnati from 1989 to 2004. Obviously, he got very comfortable on said radio interview, and in discussing University of Cincinnati's rivalry all those years with Xavier, another Cincinnati school, Bob Huggins blurted out a gay slur several times. Just said it gleefully in the spirit of the rivalry without any hesitation or any, gee, I shouldn't have said that word, I'm sorry, forgive me. None of that. We're talking about the gay slur beginning with F. It's such an evil word, so ugly and so evil. Bob Huggins has been a head college basketball coach since 1980. He's been doing interviews since 1980. I guess if he'd used that slur in 1980, I wouldn't have been nearly as shocked, though I would have been just as critical. But he did know better in 2023? Look, Bob Huggins can believe whatever he wants to believe as long as he keeps it to himself. But he's the head coach at West Virginia in the Big 12. He was born in Morgantown. He's the face of basketball at West Virginia. He's only half-jokingly said he could run for governor in West Virginia and win. Probably. He makes more than $4 million a year to represent that school and that state the right way. He knows he can't use that word that could inspire potential hate crimes, can't use that word so gleefully on a live radio show, even while having quote-unquote fun talking about an old rivalry. He knows better than that, doesn't he? Which brings me to Glen Kuiper. You might not know him unless you live in Northern California, follow the Oakland A's. I did live in the Bay Area from 2001 to 2004. I closely followed the Oakland A's. Billy Beane became a great resource for me, great interview, in some ways a friend of mine. I came to like the Oakland A's. I think I did meet Glen Kuiper once. I definitely talked a couple of other times to his older brother, Dwayne, who's the San Francisco Giants broadcaster. But I don't know Glenn. I don't really know Dwayne. But I say I don't know Glenn, so I have no idea what's really in his heart. I just know I was horrified by the word that came out of his mouth. He and his broadcast partner, the former pitcher Dallas Braden, were in Kansas City. And the irony was, that day they had visited the Negro League's baseball museum in Kansas City, and Glenn was attempting to express what an honor and privilege it had been to visit that museum. But instead of on air saying Negro, he said what I consider the most evil word in all the English language, the one I wish could somehow be abolished, the one historically used by white people to condemn African Americans as all but subhuman. Glen Kuiper used the N-word, the one ending with the hard ER, used it matter-of-factly, routinely, as if using that slur was second nature to him. Used it without an immediate apology, without any visible awareness he had used it. I hope you enjoyed that video. You ready for more? Make sure you click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from the Skip Bayless Show. And don't forget to check out the full episode of the show wherever you get your podcasts by clicking the link in the description.